Okay, you guys, so we are back with another video. In this video, we're going to talk about this young lady talking about her dad being Beyonce's former stage manager. So you could tell in the clip that she was very emotional about what happened. She says that her dad was Beyonce's stage manager for over 20 years, ever since Beyonce was with Destiny's Child. But as her father got older, he ended up with an injury, and she said that her father showed up for one of the shows, and he wasn't able to move as fast and get the job done under normal circumstances as he normally would. And as such, he was terminated from his job without a severance or without anything such as that. So I first came across a clip on TikTok. I had no idea that it would have gone viral, but I should have known better, because once you mention Beyonce or Jay-Z, the internet is going to come for them. But there's some difference in this one, because with her telling her story, many people have been saying, this sounds like another job. And it's true. With these jobs, it's what you call a seasonal job. It's a contract, and it's not one that comes with benefits nor severance package, even though oftentimes, when you're working with these people, anyone you're working with, and once they're terminating your service on the spot, you are in fact entitled to a severance package. But she's saying that her dad never got a severance package or anything like that. He was just let go after 20-something years. No, of course, if he was under contract, he's not obligated to any sort of benefits. Normally, like, I've done contractual service, and they tell you that you're responsible for paying your taxes, your contribution, your pension, and all of that. They don't take care of that. They just hire you. You work specific days. They pay you. Anything else outside of that, it is your own responsibility, and you sign such contract. So based on what this lady is alleging, that's basically what her father was working at. So it hurts, and it is painful, and you can hear the pain in her voice, but at the end of the day, Beyonce's name is going to be the name that is used, but Beyonce really doesn't manage Beyonce. Beyonce really is not in charge of Beyonce. But let's take a look at this clip together, because I think it's an interesting one. And not only is it interesting, I also believe it's a teachable moment for all of us to take something from this, learn from it. Whenever you have a job like this, what do you do going forward? What can we learn from this? So let's take a look at the clip together, shall we? And then I'll get back with the rest of my commentary.
My dad worked for Beyonce, again, for a really long time. And throughout those years, he was, the stage production manager. And for those of you who don't know what that position entails, it's everything. She is known for putting on some of the most elaborate, amazing, beautiful tours, concerts ever, and my dad was at the heart of them. And he was elated when he got a job opportunity to go with Beyonce to a hotel opening, if I'm remembering correctly, in Dubai. And so, this was a big deal. This was the first time my dad had gone back out into the field since his injury. He was excited. He missed his work. He needed the money, right? So he goes out to Dubai, and I can't remember exactly how long he was out there for, but essentially, he got fired because of his physical state. The team that was working for Beyonce at the time, and mind you, again, my dad has been not only on Beyonce's team, but one of the head people in Beyonce's team for 20 plus years, since he was working with since she was in Destiny's Child. They decided that he just wasn't keeping up enough, because he couldn't walk fast enough and he couldn't move quickly enough, even though, there are plenty of positions that they could have given him where he could sit behind a desk and help design the stage, or, have fewer, maybe not be expected to work 24 hours straight, right? but rather than make accommodations, they made the determination to let him go. He put his heart and his soul into Beyonce's career and other celebrities too, but primarily her. And they cut him loose and fired him after 20 something years of service, after he gave his health and his body to helping her succeed. And without so much as a livable or a, substantial, severance.
So, what she's saying is very unfortunate, but he was just doing a job. But I do believe that he's entitled to a severance package, however. But I notice it is a practice of the American companies. They don't like to pay severance packages, not even the ones that are in Jamaica. And, one such company that's in Jamaica that does that is Amazon. Amazon doesn't love to pay severance packages. And this is why Amazon is so hated worldwide. Because if I have that experience, I know quite a few other people have that experience. And this is why many people don't like Jeff Bezos, because of their business practices. You'll be working for the company for years and they don't want to pay you a severance package. But under the government of Jamaica, by law, if they're terminating you or if you've left the company, you are entitled to your final pay. You are entitled to that. And there are so many American companies that comes to Jamaica and they want to just close down, go home and not pay up people. And the government of Jamaica is like, hell no, you are entitled to give them a retroactive payment. And they're like, no, because the government is like, that's not our business. It is our country's law. So what she's saying here, I definitely understand. It is the practice of the American businesses, but that shit doesn't fly here in Jamaica. And that is what most of the American companies don't like about Jamaica. They call themselves private sectors and they have been pushing for the government to change the laws to facilitate them. And the government is like, yeah, so with her dad, I would say if I was in her father's shoe, I would definitely take Beyonce's team to court because he's entitled to a severance package. You terminate someone, you owe them a severance package. But I realize that it's a practice that is so widely practiced in America. Very few people will have the decency and the backbone to give you a severance package. It was a contractual work, so I understand everything else, but her father is entitled to a severance pay. It was fired on the spot. He's entitled to that. It doesn't seem as though he's entitled to anything else, but I'll say he's entitled to a severance package. And I don't know how they don't have legal litigations, because here in Jamaica, there's a government department that provides you with free representation on that. You go into them and they will represent you free of cost. And if the company is refusing, they give you a letter to take to the court and you don't have to pay for anything besides a stamp. Beyonce team needs to be ashamed of themselves. This is not Beyonce's personal doing. It is the management team. And these behaviors are disgusting. And this is why I always say I will work for a small business any day, because you know what I've discovered? When you work for the small man, the small businesses, they are better. They're decent. They are they treat you like human being. Like, I love working with AT&T. They treat people really, really good. And there's some businesses in LA. When I tell you, when it comes to labor code, labor laws with the businesses in LA, they treat you damn well. Even working with many celebrities in LA, they treat you damn well. Beyonce seems to be an exception to this rule. For some reason, I don't know why her management team would be so horrible to someone that has been working with them for so many years. And this is why I don't buy shit from people who tell you, oh, we're family this and we're family that. And when they throw pizza party at these companies, I throw that fucking pizza back in their face. Give me a candy at work for, if they ever dare give me a candy or a slice of pizza to say you have achieved this mark and this accomplishment and this pizza, I throw it back. When I tell you, I literally throw it back in their, I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding. Because if you're gonna disrespect me with a slice of pizza, I'm gonna slap you in your face with that slice of, give who a slice of pizza for my hard work? You take that and shove it up your ass. I don't want it. And giving me candies, hell, I don't want it. Keep that shit. If my performance was so good to make you more money, whatever the cost of that pizza is, $5, $10, put it on my, fuck you and that pizza. This is why some companies I don't work for anymore. I don't give a damn what you're gonna say that you represent. I don't work for some people anymore. I'm so happy that I'm at this place where I don't serve money, I serve God. And no one is gonna get me to ever serve money because I know there is a greater power, which is God. Beyonce's team, they should be ashamed of themselves. That man deserves a severance package. Nothing else, but he deserves a severance package, and they should do the right thing and do the decent thing, and they should seek litigation just for that. That's just my opinion. That's just my belief. But let me know what you guys think, because this is disturbing. It was a job. It was a contract. He's not entitled to anything else but a severance package. Of course, he is entitled to that. But that's all I have to say about that for this video. Peace.